Its net ever wider. We've been to Birmingham to find out how this part of Irish culture is attracting new recruits from a variety of backgrounds.
Today is the West Midlands Schools GAA Secondary Schools Boys Secondary Schools Championship. We've got teams from as far as London, Leeds, Manchester and all over the West Midlands participating for the championship trophy. It's thriving at the moment. I think what we've done in recent years is we've redeveloped Gaelic sports. We're trying to resell Gaelic sports in schools. We've had massive participation. We've now got 3,000 children and 52 schools in the West Midlands alone participating in Gaelic games, football and hurling. It hasn't been difficult to sell Gaelic games because I think in this day and age now, Irishness is regarded as being trendy. You know, Irish music is being trendy, and I think it's very, very easy to sell an alternative sport.
I'm in the School of Self-Soccer and Rugby League are the two main sports, and it's only a selection of the kids that are involved in that competitively. So I thought that I'd bring in the Gaelic football, and there has been huge interest in the school from it. In the team at the minute, there's only maybe 2 or 3 lads that are of Irish descent, but the rest of them are just all local English lads anyway. So, as I say, it's great to see people just having a keen interest in it and being willing to take part in it.
We're promoting Gaelic sports now with people from a variety of different ethnic backgrounds. We're selling Gaelic sports now as an alternative sport. It is predominantly an Irish sport, yes, but we're developing the Irishness of it and we're promoting it in different communities as well.
Fingers down. Well, within Birmingham there's lots of ethnic minorities in the city, and we go in, we teach a class. So within a class we can have any type of children from all sorts of backgrounds, and we just teach Gaelic football as if it was a normal PE lesson, and so it attracts all sorts of ethnic minority backgrounds.
Whoa! England, Zimbabwe, Kashmir, Jamaica, India. Anthony Togo, Trevor Gels, Peter Canavan, Frank Mitchell.
The children started doing Gaelic football through Bishop Challoner Secondary School. The school has very close links with the secondary school where a lot of our children actually go on to when they leave here. And it was just basically they phoned us up, told us about the new initiative and asked us did we want to get involved. It's been great. The children have loved it. They've got a chance to do it. A lot of the children have carried on as well out of the school hours onto the summer camps. And it's all been new for them, so they've really enjoyed it.
Thanks to all our friends in Birmingham over there. Now, lads, we have to look back. Donegal, magnificent against me.
I don't like
nobody here picked them, apart from Logie.
Looking at me, Logie, at the minute. Of course they were magnificent. I mean, I suggested technically they probably would be better. But I did question, and let's get to the heart of the matter, heart itself within some of the players. But they're very, very well prepared, and they epitomise true physical, mental strength in particular, and of course they played, you know, lovely football.
Whenever we take a look at me too, you know, they weren't averse to getting into the Donegal lads.
Yeah, but I don't think, I don't think this, and to be fair, was the best of all the Meath teams in the past. The players left a lot to be desired, and sometimes they had to resort to over-physical challenges. But Donegal did what they had to do. They played the game, played it hard, played it fair, and they played it at a great pace. And I think that's the difference to this Donegal team. I think when they get to Croke Park, they are very pacey. They use the ball very well, you know, and... I
think the one thing they were, too, Hilly, was that they were smart. I mean, they played very intelligently, and we talk about experience, and there were so many examples of experience out on the pitch on Sunday, and that impressed me about Donegal.
And only I'd have to say credit too to Mickey Moran and to John Morrison.
Well, absolutely. John Morrison has had a spell with our man. Now, looks he's doing the business for Donegal, and I was delighted to see them win at the weekend. I think it was a great performance, and I always like to leave the commentary to the former players, but plenty of heart there, and it was a great display.
Right, I have to mention it. All right, what about it? Talk me through it. Why did it happen? Sligo were fantastic. Let me put it in very, very quickly. Sligo was thoroughly deserved their victory.
No doubt about that, and I must say, looking at it from the outside almost, very, very disappointed with Tyrone, and I couldn't help but reflect, size is one thing, but we saw Brian Roper there, we're talking about Graham Garrity. I think the size of the heart within some of the Tyrone people would, or the players would be in question. I just would question their mental preparation as much as anything else, because technically, very skillful team, we know they can play football. They've shown it all year, but mentally they just weren't at the game.
Were they complacent?
I thought they were, to be honest, complacent going in, and it's probably fault the likes of ourselves who all tipped them and couldn't see Sligo, you know, winning that particular game. I couldn't believe the result in the end. I couldn't believe what I was watching in the second half. Tyrone just didn't turn up for the second half. I mean, we know that the ability is in the team, but fair play to Sligo. They produced it. I mean, they couldn't produce it in a Connacht final on a really bad day, but certainly when they got to Croke Park, they turned it on.
You're looking at this fella here. Yes, he earns his crust. Eamon O'Hara was magnificent, wasn't it?
I mean, well, I mean, people talk about leaders, and you wonder sometimes what leaders do, but that's what they do. They get the ball and they take the fight to the opposition and they make things happen. And Sligo, especially whenever he went back inside to midfield, I mean, they really looked the shape of a team, and others joined in, of course, which is what good leaders do. They bring more people with them.
But, and really, is at that stage of the game, he was playing them single-handedly. There was nobody in the team. And then next Sunday comes on, Jerry McGowan, Desi Sloan, young McCanty comes on, start doing the business. And thoroughly worth a victory, you know.
Every year after thing like this happens, you know, there's a whole big plethora of people in Tyrone who are saying Art McCrory and Eugene McKenna must go. I say here publicly they shouldn't go. I think they should stay. Like, these are National League champions, these young lads, you know, and they've come through an awful lot. There's a lot for the future. I think sometimes people who say they should go are people who've never managed a team in their lives.
But why should they go? I mean, 2 months ago they were potential All-Ireland winners. Okay, they didn't perform in one day, and that's what the championship's about. They get beat on the big stage. But those boys will be back hungrier than ever. And I hope for Peter's point of view that he stays on, because, I mean, I think all those people in Ulster would like to see Peter Canavan win an All-Ireland medal, and he has got to do it. He was brilliant again on Sunday, and he's continued to produce the goods.
Let's move on now. Kerry against Kildare. What about you? Who do you fancy there, Kerry or Kildare?
Well, I'd still have to fancy Kerry, I think, but I think Kildare will certainly put it up to them. They're a good, fast, physical team, but I still think Kerry will do the business.
Well, Kildare, I think, will improve from their previous experience. Kerry, I'm not sure about yet. I do believe they're not the finished article. So I'm well and truly perched.
After last week, I'm not sure about you.
I'm not saying anything.
We're due to get one right, but I went for Kildare against Dublin, and I thought it was home and host, but again, they've always the habit of shooting themselves in the foot, so I think I'll just go for Kerry this time.
Well, put it up, listen, I think about Kildare too. We talked about the occasion being the nearly men, but there's some very skillful players, haven't they, too?
But you never know when they're going to do it. I mean, they played brilliantly against Dublin, but Martin Lynch again failed to turn up. You know, I mean, totally outplayed by Paddy Christie, and he's a major cog in the wheel. But the two corner forwards were excellent that day, scoring right and left foot, keeping them in the game. And then they go asleep for 1 minute and concede 2 goals, and then suddenly they're beaten in a Leinster final.
Well, boys, what about Mayo against Tipperary? This time, like, we obviously didn't give Tipperary much chance, obviously, a few weeks ago, but I fancy Mayo to win easily, I think, at the weekend.
Yeah, I mean, you'd have to think so. I mean, really, Tipperary shouldn't be in this position, but we'll not go over that ground again. But you'd have to think so. I mean, they've a wee bit more quality, but you never know. I mean, will Tipperary recover? I mean, as we know, a week sometimes isn't enough, and it looks as if Mayo, for their fickleness, will probably get through this one.
What about you, Donald?
I can play with the experts, and I think I'll tip Mayo.
Well, you can't sit in the fence in this programme, come play with the what experts?
Mayo's my dark horse, so watch out, Tipperary.
Well, my brother-in-law will hate me too, but I think Mayo have a wee life too, you know, because they've been building very quietly, you know what I mean? And Holmes will have them in good shape, you know. This is a great game for them too to go into Tipperary. I think Tipperary mentally mightn't have recovered too well from the whole the whole Munster escapade.
But doesn't it show you about GAA? You know, you turn out one day and you can draw with Cork, and then you come out the next day and be totally humiliated, annihilated, whatever you want to call it. You know, it's a week's a long term in politics, it's a long term in GAA.
Well, maybe we can reflect as that being our problem, as experts, pundits, call them what you like. It has been inconsistent, very hard to obviously guess who's going to win a game. So Mayo can still get through.
Okay, lads. Well, finally tonight, what a weekend for Antrim and their Tipperary boss, Dinny. Cahill. This Sunday they head for Croke Park, hoping to cause one of the game's great upsets. the Antrim boss hoping it's just another landmark on what is proving a lengthy journey.
Who's gonna drive you home tonight?
I left Jordan today at 2 o'clock, and the road was quite enough today compared to other days. We got a good run, so I made it into 4 hours, no problem. I never really thought about Tipperary when I was training the Antrim team. The main ambition was to get Antrim up to win an Ulster final, and after that it was an All-Ireland quarter-final. But little did I know that I'd be pitched against Tipperary. But I was always talking to the players about All-Ireland quarter-finals, but now I'm talking about Tipperary to them. So who knows what can happen next Sunday.
Oh, that's gone all the way in. Chances here, first chance, taken well done, Mark O'Leary.
Well, Tipperary are a very strong team, and they've proven that last year. Like, you know, they hadn't a good run in the league this year. But in general, they're picking from a big panel of players, all fellas that have great experience. So to pick out any player in particular, like, would be sort of wrong. But Owen Kelly is a big threat. Like, he's a good player, he's a young player, and he's well able to take a score. So we'll have to put the clamps on Owen Kelly right from the start.
Will they go for a goal here? They do. They get it, and it's Owen Kelly.
We're going to have one good crack at this game, and I'm fairly confident the way the lads have progressed in the last 7 months. While under me, like, you know, I know that we're going to have one good crack at this game. I'll be leaving Casement, I suppose, about 10 o'clock tonight, and I don't know what time I'll be home. It could be 1, half 1, in around that time. But there'll be lots of things going through my mind.
Look at the stars, look how they shine for you. Everything you do, yeah, they were all yellow.
It was probably a new setting for Crook Park and the surroundings of it, to see a sea of saffron in it for a change. And I mean, obviously it has memories, good and bad. I mean, it was we were fairly comprehensively beat, but the previous 3 All-Irelands, the amount that we scored, which was 3-9, would have been enough to win the 3 previous All-Irelands. So in a way, maybe that was encouraging, but it was a fairly comprehensive beating. I know your enthusiasm for it and your sort of commitment to it. I mean, it's without question, because even from the amount of travel that you're doing to take it on. But how do you think that the players themselves will respond from your enthusiasm?
Well, from the way they've improved in the last seven months that I've come here, like, you know, it means there's a message there that said that they want to play it at a better level. Now, when you're up and playing that kind of hurling, and we're up against a very good hurling team on Sunday, and we're able to play a good hurling. So and I don't think they have any fears. And this is real championship hurling. Like, you know, you can play.
And Tipperary will be a team that won't.
Well, they're All-Ireland champions.
And they're not All-Ireland champions because they were weak.
Yeah.
You know, and the one thing that they'll not do is they'll not go easy on us.
No, they're
and you
like,
don't expect them to.
No, so like, it's not an excuse me game, and
no,
I think
that's right.
Tipperary don't want to go down to Antrim either. Like, you know, they feel that they have a chance of winning another All-Ireland. That's a hard thing to do nowadays, is win All-Ireland back to back.
Well, then all I can do is, I mean, like, my heart says Antrim on Sunday, but my head says Tipperary. Right. You know, and I mean, I hope I'm wrong, and I hope my heart's right, rather than I think it's going to be a mammoth task for us to put Tipperary away on Sunday. But if you have confidence in it, then I'm 100% behind you.
Oh, well,
that's all
I appreciate it.
And I'll wish you the best of luck.
Thanks very much, Sid. Thank you.
I hope you do.
Who's gonna drive you home?
Well, good luck to Antrim and all the teams this weekend. Once again, time has beaten us. My thanks to our studio guests tonight, Damien and Donald O'Neill, and of course, Ger Houlihan. And unlike the players, we're all off to collect our cheques. Good night.